Okay, Part B, Section 4A video. Have a couple more examples to look at. Again, just looking at different ways to manage your money, your personal finances, maybe making a decision in this case regarding keeping your old car and purchasing a fuel-efficient car. So here is the scenario. You drive 250 miles a week in a car that gets 21 miles per gallon of gas. You're considering buying a new fuel-efficient car for $16,000. That car gets 45 miles per gallon. Your insurance premium for the new car is $800 a year. Your insurance premium for the old car is $400 a year. You anticipate spending about $1,500 per year on repairs for the old car and having no repairs on the new car. Assume that the cost of gas is $3.25 a gallon. Figure out the cost of each of these vehicles over a 5-year period. Is it less expensive to keep your old car or to buy the new car? So to get started, I just sort of separated my page into two sides. One side for the old car expenses over 5 years, and one side for the new car expenses over, again, a 5-year period. For the old car, I came up with an expense for gasoline. If you drive 250 miles a week and you get 21 miles to the gallon, if you divide those two out, that'll tell you how many gallons you use per week. If I multiply that by 52, that tells me how many gallons I use in a year. And if I multiply that by 5, that'll tell me how many gallons I use in 5 years. Then finally multiply that number by $3.25, and that'll tell you your gasoline expenses for 5 years, $10,059.56. Insurance is $400 a year, but I have to multiply it by 5 over 5 years, so that's $2,000. Repairs, $1,500 over 5 years is $7,500. So my total old car expenses for 5 years comes out to be $19,559.56. Do the same for the new car. The costs for the new car begin with the actual price. It was $16,000 after you traded in your car, so that's one huge expense. Now, as far as gasoline goes, you get better gas mileage. 250 miles divided by 45 miles per gallon suggests that you use only 5.55 gallons per week. Times 52 weeks in a year, times 5 years, times $3.25 per gallon gives you $4,689.75 in gasoline costs. The only other cost you have is the insurance, which is $800 a year for 5 years, so that's $4,000. So the total expenses for the new car come up to be $24,689.75. So now you can weigh out, is it worth the extra money to purchase the new car, or do you want to keep your old car, keep it running? It may be that you don't have to put away $1,500 a year. It may not take that much to keep it running. But this actually just gives you a really good idea of some pros and cons if you have an old car and you're thinking about buying a new car. Okay, so last example, example 6, you're given a table. And in this table it shows the median annual earnings for men and women with various levels of education. And we're going to assume that these values remain constant over a 40-year period. For instance, a woman that has a high school only degree, that's her only education, the table says her earnings would be $21,272 per year. We're going to assume that it stays at that value for a 40-year period. A male with an associate's degree on the table tells me he earns $50,392 a year, and again we're going to assume that stays constant over a 40-year period. So here are some questions. Approximately how much more does a man with a bachelor's degree earn than a man with a high school education over a 40-year career. Figure that out. So let's compare some values. The table states that a man with a bachelor's degree earns $66,427 a year. A man with a high school diploma only earns $40,548 a year. If we find that difference between those two numbers, we come up with $25,879. So the male with the bachelor's degree earns $25,000 plus more than a man with a high school diploma only. Now, if we look at that over 40 years, multiplying that difference by 40 years, then we get $1,035,160. So the person with the bachelor's degree earned $1 million plus more than the person with the high school only degree or diploma. So over a span of a career, that money certainly does add up. Okay, so your education is worth it. So look at part B. How much less does a woman with a bachelor's degree earn than a woman with a professional degree over a 40-year career? So now let's switch to the women and compare women with a professional and women with a bachelor's degree. So work on that one. A woman with a bachelor's degree earns, let me scooch this up, $49,482 a year. A woman with a professional degree earns $80,268 per year. So let's find that difference and see how much that is over a 40-year period. So when I find the difference between those two degrees, I come up with $30,786 a year. So the person with the professional degree makes that much more than a person with a bachelor's degree. And if we take that out over 40 years, sorry about that, the video cut off. If we take that out over 40 years, we see a value of $1,231,440. Again, that's over the span of a 40-year career. So that's an incredible difference. That might get you to thinking about what degree you want to go into, what career you might want to go into. And I bet you also noticed that there's a major disparity between the earnings of women and the earnings of men. It's sometimes referred to as a glass ceiling. The glass ceiling for women is that they'll make up to a certain amount of income, but there is this imaginary ceiling, and in the sense that they won't get higher than a particular income. So their income can only go up to this level. However, the male income levels rise much higher than that. So there's a great disparity between male and female incomes. That's actually a very common topic of discussion these days, and actually our current president is looking into that, maybe putting forth some policies regarding that. So just be aware, if you're a woman, your earnings potential would be less than that of a male counterpart, even with the same degree. So let's check out this last part. As a percentage, how much more does a man with a bachelor's degree earn than a woman with a bachelor's degree? So kind of what I was just talking about. And over a 40-year career, how much more does the man make than the woman? So going back to our values, and that said bachelor's degree. So a male with a bachelor's degree earns approximately $66,427 a year. A woman with a bachelor's degree earns $49,482 a year. And remember, these are just median values. So let's go back to the problem. Work on finding out, as a percentage, how much more does the man make than the woman, and over a 40-year career, how much more will the man earn than the woman? So male earnings with a bachelor's degree is $66,427. Female earnings with a bachelor's degree is $49,482. So to determine the percentage of how much more does a man with a bachelor's degree earn than a woman with a bachelor's degree, I set up a simple algebraic equation that said the female earnings times what percent would be equal to the male earnings. By what percent would I have to increase the female earnings to be equal to the male earnings? Okay, so I basically divided both sides by the female earnings. So the male divided by the female gave me 1.3424. From that value, I don't use the 1. When I convert that to a percentage, I use the 0.34 at the end. The 0.34 is the part that tells me the percentage by which I increased it. Because remember, 1 means more than, so I'm going to pull that out. That's the females. Plus an extra 34% would get you to the males. So the males earn 34.2% more than females. And you could check your work on that. And then finally, how much more does a man earn than a woman over a 40-year career? So the difference between those two multiplied by 40 gave me $677,800. So that's the disparity between male and female wages. So now you can go to my math lab, work on the homework for section 4A, and let me know if you have any questions, or let me know if there is anything in this video that has a mistake in it.